Go on with it, you lizard. Y'all know that? Maybe some of y'all might know it. It's like some crackhead and his friend or his sister. And she's like on the phone trying to do something, and he ain't got no teeth, nothing like that. And he just like, while she's on the phone trying to do something, he like leans into her. He's like, "Arr!" She's like, go on, you lizard. Here, hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, I got to sign in, man. This is why I need a producer, man. This is why I need a. All right, you got the auto login. Go on, you lizard. Yeah, keep on.
Card. Hold on for a minute, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Now look here, you snag mouth motherfucker. I'm on the phone with the dentist trying to get you some teeth so you can eat some solid food. Keep on, you lizard.
Oh.
I'm sorry about that, ma'am. Yes, I got an insurance card right here. Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Insurance card. Hold on for a minute, ma'am.
Keep on, you lizard. What's up, man? Welcome back to the pod. I think this is episode 53, something like that. We're grateful to have you here. And let me tell you, it has been a couple days since I've been here with y'all. We got a lot to talk about. And we got a little bit of time to do it this week. I feel like the last couple pods we've been crunched for time a little bit because they always seem to fall on training days, and I always seem to wait until an hour before training to shoot the pod. But no training tonight. I'm heading out to Tampa, Florida to get one of my to help one of my friends, dear friends, get married and do that kind of thing. So I got my suit ready. I got my little sleeping thing. Man, here's the thing. I always thought sleeping on planes was impossible. I always thought. And then I saw a advertisement for this product that you can tie a little latch to the back of the headrest on the airplane and then attach it to a sleeping mask. So it obviously keeps the light out like a normal sleeping mask would, but also it keeps you from this. It's like, it's got you like, so you can like lean into that thing. Apparently, if you're a side sleeper like me, you can like lean into it sideways and stuff. So my flight's at 11 p.m. Phoenix time, and I'm going to land in Tampa Bay around 5:45 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll see if I can snag them 4 hours and then pick up the other 4 at some point in the day tomorrow. But man, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something real quick. I've had the slowest marketing month of my life this month. I'm talking like $260 per appointment booked. It should be around like $150. Okay. For some reason, the cost of booking an appointment is high. I don't know if it's we're adjusting the copy on some of our ads. So to kind of, there's a lot going on in the market right now. So I think maybe some of our new ad copy might be reflecting that. But let me tell you, in the span of about 24 hours, I've had 3 people book a first meeting with me. That's a lot, because I think over the course of a month, we've maybe had like 5 to 7, maybe. It's probably generous. And in the last 24 hours, I get 3 bookings on my calendar. This is on me, by the way. Last 24 hours, I get 3 bookings on my calendar. Wouldn't you know that all 3 of them are during the rehearsal dinner? One of them's during the rehearsal dinner. And then we got 2 separate people on 2 separate parts of the country book with me during the exact time when I'm supposed to be standing up there helping my boy get married. So, it's just one of those things. It's like, I got to block off my calendar next time. It's really my fault. It ain't nobody's fault but your boy. But I mean, you live, you learn. Called all them folks up and just said, hey, we don't have to talk another time. You know what I mean? But what else is going on, man? I mean, not much. Cincinnati Reds are playing baseball again. Slower start, I think. I think they got like maybe 2 dubs so far, something like that. I don't think they have a winning record. Reds record. Let's see. Damn. Yeah, 2-4. I might need some sunglasses, man, because the light is just, it's really, these lights, man. I repositioned the studio. Oh, yeah. New studio look. OG look again. Hey, I started to miss it. You know what I mean? I started to miss the old studio setup a little bit. You know what I mean? So it actually wasn't that hard. Just took like 30 minutes, and we're back. Dude, somebody need to hire me as a graphic designer. My God, dude. But no, I mean, it's cool. Trey Hendrickson. So Katie Blackburn, the executive vice president of the Cincinnati Bengals, comes out, I guess at like owner meetings, player meetings, something like that, and basically says, let me pull up the quote. Katie said, Trey Hendrickson should be happy at certain rates that maybe he doesn't think he'd be happy at. Hey, here's the thing. Here's the thing for Bengals ownership, okay? She said this on April 1st, by the way. Hey, say something that doesn't sound like an April Fool's joke. You know what I mean? Say something that sounds serious. After all, the Cincinnati Bengals are an NFL team. Dude, I bet, here's the thing. What if Katie Blackburn says dumb shit like this because she knows that whatever she says to the public is going to get torn apart by her dad behind closed doors? And so the thought of getting torn apart by her dad behind closed doors absolutely dismantles her while she's actually speaking, and she flops. What if, dude? I don't know. But Trey Hendrickson, he went on the McAfee show, unpacked it. He said he said he was a bit disappointed. So I don't think, I mean, we got OTAs coming up, man. We got OTAs coming up. Training camp is really, in the grand scheme, not very far away. And you got the sack king of the NFL, and you're saying basically he should be happy with what we give him. It's just not the way you treat players. He also said that the communication has been poor on the Bengals end. Surprise. I mean, it's really, dude, I don't know, man. It's like the more that comes out about this organization, the less inclined I want to be to support them. But it's not really about these nepotistic, if that's a word, retards in the front office. It's about the city. And I think that's part of why it makes me so mad, is that the city deserves a championship team. The city deserves a front office in their football organization that is serious, and it just doesn't sound like a serious organization. Every time Katie Blackburn opens her mouth, 40 people in Cincinnati threaten suicide. You know what I mean? It's like, I came on here a couple weeks ago and I defended the organization. And I said, oh, the media is tearing into them and it's become a narrative and all this stuff. They have a point. They have a point. And it's just, it's really frustrating. I mean, especially, you know, coming from, I mean, you got the NFL sack leader on a lackluster defense. You just fired your D coordinator. Sam Hubbard retired, who was the captain, hometown kid. And you're not serious about re-signing this guy, it seems. You're saying, hey, you're going to take what we give you and you're going to be happy with it. I wonder, you know, I don't know, man. 'Cause I think probably that the Bengals organization knew that when Trey Hendrickson went to test the market, that they would not trade for him unless a team acquiesced to something outlandish. I do think to an extent that there's enough experience in the Bengals front office to foresee that. Okay, which, depending on how you look at it, you know, it's not. It's a tactic that could go both ways, because if Hendrickson had gone to market, I don't know, man. It's pretty frustrating. Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of came to a dead halt on talking about that for whatever reason. My brain was just like, shut off. So, you know, that's just part of the game in this world here on this show. It's part of the game. We're going to run into stuff. Okay. So, man, I just kind of, damn. What else, man? This is this is what shooting the solo show looks like. Okay. It's funny, man. Making podcasts is funny because I just don't like the stress of coordinating with somebody to come be a guest. And then, you know, sometimes you have someone on that hasn't been on a lot of podcasts, and you can tell that they're, nervous and not really being themselves. And if you address it, then it's just probably going to get worse. So you can't address it. You got to just keep going with it. And maybe that's partially my job as the host, to make people feel more comfortable. That's probably partially on me. There are a lot of episodes we filmed on this show that just haven't made it to air because of what I just described. And so we start this show about 13, 14 months ago, and just thinking to myself, man, I don't want to rely on having guests, really. We did I think we did 6 to 8 episodes with various guests, and some of them were great, but I felt like I wasn't great, and so we never released them. And some of them were on Zoom as well. Like there's this software like Zoom called Riverside that's specifically designed for podcasting. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about those interviews, because the logistics, yes, are much easier, and you can talk to anyone anywhere in the country. A good majority of people I know and are close with are across the country, but it's like, what happens when the video lags and you don't hear somebody right, and then you got to say, what did you say? What was that? I lost you. Hey. Oh yeah. What was that? Oh yeah. We were talking about pass rushing. Yeah. And you see how it messes up the whole flow, So I'd love to have some guests, man, but a week comes by, I got my head down working. Day comes where it's like, all right, I'm gonna knock out a shoot today, and then we just kind of sit down and press record, man. It's like there's a lot of thought and thinking. I really would like to master the art of like logistically having that savvy to bring on guests, but unfortunately, like we just don't have that big of a team right now. And so yeah, man, all that to say, sometimes when you run in a solo show, the brain just kind of, what were we talking about? So anyway, I got a good couple of books in my repertoire right now that I'm reading. And one of them is called Story Selling for Financial Advisors. I've found that a lot of my meetings, a lot of my presentations lately have I haven't closed as many of them as I would like to be. And part of that is because we're adopting a virtual model, a virtual business model in our investment advisory practice. So historically, as an investment advisor, you're obviously, even with the virtual component, you're very relationship focused. And so in the history of the business, obviously SOP, standard operating procedure, is you set up an office, you get some staff, you go out in public and speak and maybe do some cold calling, get some leads that way, and you say, hey, why don't you come into my office around 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday? Does that sound good? I think the dog just barked. Sounded like he was angry. Anyways, and the prospect, they come in, they sit down with you, you're sitting across from them, and you're able to connect with them pretty good in person. And that's a great approach. But the thing I've kind of come to realize is COVID changed a lot. Why can't we reach more people? Why do we have to be geographically limited in terms of who we're talking to? Because yes, if you and I are sitting across from each other and we're really able to connect, that's great. But I truly believe that if you adopt the right sales process in a virtual setting, that you can convey to the prospect that I'm able to do a good job for you. And the prospect, if you communicate in such a way, will say, yeah, I think you could help me. And so I've been kind of masticating on, well, what would it take to connect on that level, even if the person's not sitting right across from me? I think it's in telling stories. I think it's in the metaphors, the aphorisms. And so that's exactly what the book I'm reading is about. It's Warren Buffett was a master of this. I think there's one quote he said. He was talking about like bull markets, and he was saying like during a high tide, everybody's boats are going to be floating, but when the tide goes out, you're going to see who's swimming naked. That's a good one. It's stuff like that. And then kind of going off of that, it's not just, and I've already stolen a bunch of metaphors, aphorisms, even stories out of this book. And it's something, man, but so you get an idea, right, of what these aphorisms should look like. But then the real challenge where I'm at right now is developing my own. I feel like Southern grandpa sayings would be really good for this. Listen, man, with those damn Southern sayings, I talk about this story all the time on the podcast about how I had a bunch of good old Georgia boys for coaches. They had big old Copenhagen fine cut up in their lip, call it the horseshoe. I can't talk it's impossible to talk with the pro bono upper decker in, because it's my tongue, and I guess you gotta talk with the tongue. La lengua. You ever go to a damn at least out here in Phoenix, you go to a damn Mexican restaurant, you can get la lengua, la cabeza. I like to say Z's in Spanish, like the Spaniards say. I just think it's cooler. The Z's, the S's, they have that lisp. Español instead of español. Español. La lengua. La cabeza. That's the cow's brain that they're grinding up in the damn pot, cooking it up, throwing it in a taco, burrito. Yeah, man. So I can't probably hear my saliva squelching around in the microphone. I do that. It's almost like I'm gleeking. But no, I had these coaches, and they would they'd be like, "Well, Gordy, you've known that since Moby Dick was a minnow," and stuff like that. And they would just come up with them, man. There's so many, I can't even remember all of them. Okay, that's really the main one I remember. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I wish I could go back and create like a database of all these Southern grandpa sayings, because either I ain't Southern enough to have my own repertoire, or that's just a part of my brain that I got to get firing on a few different cylinders, a couple more cylinders. Because I think they'd be very helpful in communicating these complex, sometimes really dirty, nasty, in the weeds subjects when it comes to markets, investing, money in general. It's really helpful. There's this one, I don't know what's the difference between an aphorism and a metaphor. A pithy observation that contains a general truth, such as, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Aphorism versus metaphor. An aphorism is a short, memorable saying. So maybe the Southern grandpa sayings I think they'd definitely be aphorisms. A short, memorable saying that expresses a general truth or observation, while a metaphor is a figure of speech that describes something by comparing it to something else using figurative language. So like a metaphor would be, if I'm describing to a prospect what I do for work, generally I would say, hey, look at me as a general contractor. We're trying to build you a dream home. And so my job as a general contractor is to figure out exactly what that dream home looks like. What materials are we using? What's the foundation look like? What's the roof look like? And we're hiring all the necessary folks to come in and help you build that house. I can't remember who the specific folks in building a house are, but I liken them to accountants. I liken them to estate planning attorneys. And I say, all we trying to do, Miss Smith, is build you a dream house. That's all I'm trying to do. And so the reason I talk about all this is because a lot of times when you're talking to normal people about investing, the thing about investing in money is that you have to spend your entire life studying, reading, living it to really have even a decent understanding. I've lived my whole life around this business, and I still feel some days like I don't know shit. So I can only imagine what somebody who spent their whole life working as an engineer would say, what somebody spent their whole life studying medicine, being a doctor, would say about money. And some people are impressively well versed based on whatever their craft is about money. But the point I guess I'm trying to make is that as an advisor, if I'm trying to communicate to somebody, here's exactly how I think I can help you, a lot of times we get trapped in our left brain in explaining these things. Yeah, these stocks, these are the stocks we invest in. Here's why we invest in them. Here's the plan that we laid out for you. Here's how we're going to optimize taxes. Here's how we're going to combat against inflation. And here's the risk analysis. Here's how we quantify the risk you're taking in your portfolio. See the fees that you're getting charged in those little mutual funds that you own. Do you know what mutual funds are? Do you know why they charge a fee and why they don't communicate the fee to you? I can tell though, whoever's watching this, your eyes already glazed over. And that's how a lot of advisors sell. That's how a lot of advisors outline their process. And that's how I've done it a lot of the time. And so it's taken me this long. I've gotten, down the road a little bit in my career to realize that there's a better way to do it. And so that's done through telling stories, using metaphors, using aphorisms. And so that's something that book does a really good job of outlining, talking about the different parts of the brain, what functions they're responsible for, this, that, and the other. So yeah, I just got 2 new books in the mail. One of them's called "I'm Right, You Are Wrong," and I actually opened it up before the start of this podcast. Just I was excited to have it, so I just flipped to a random page, and it was talking about oh gosh, it was basically talking about context. It was saying that a bathroom or a toilet might not have any significance to you. Let's say you're in an airport and you walk by a bathroom. You don't have to go. I think it was talking about relevance. That's the R word I was looking for, relevance. And it was saying, let's say you're in an airport, you walk by a bathroom there and you don't have to go. Okay. There's not much significance to the bathroom. You might not even consciously be aware of it as you walk by it. But let's say you just got off the plane and you got to go. You got to go bad. That bathroom's going to hold some significance to you now. And to go further, let's say that you fly to Japan. And I don't know no Japanese. I know what it sounds like. I don't want to get canceled, so I'm not going to try and make what I think it sounds like. But let's say you fly to Japan and you don't have to go to the bathroom, but you see a sign in Japanese that says bathroom. I ain't gonna know what that mean, man. I ain't gonna know what that mean, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and then even if I have to go really bad to the bathroom and I see a sign, I just landed in Tokyo and I gotta go bad, and I see a sign in the airport that says bathroom in Japanese, that's still not going to hold any significance or relevance to me because I don't know what it means. So I thought it was a cool idea. It was talking about if you try to talk to somebody in the United Kingdom about maybe baseball and you tell them, oh, dude, the Reds just hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th to walk it off. That's not going to hold any significance to them because they don't know what a grand slam is. They don't know what a walk-off is. But if you say something about soccer, it might. It might. Manchester FC just scored a goal to cover off the Blabbington bludgeons. They're probably going to know what that means. You know what I mean? I don't know what the hell it means, really. I just kind of said it. Tonight, I had some breakfast this morning. I had Bladgington Bradley beans and toast. It was white bread. I can't even do the accent. Let me think. It was white bread. Yeah, I can't do it, man. I don't know. There's some words I can say in these different accents, and there are other words that just don't sound too good. I don't know, because I feel like if you go like up north in the UK, they start to sound more Irish. Like Paddy Pimblett is technically from the UK, but he sounds more Irish. Like, how they say fuck. They say fucking hell, mate. Fucking hell. The Bare Knuckle Fighting Association. The first Irish president to step in the octagon. Oh, man. Conor McGregor went to go see Daddy Trump talking about immigration in Ireland. For the people of Ireland. I nailed that. I nailed that. For the people of Ireland, thank you. Thank you. And he goes like, Conor, whenever he's fired up about something, he goes like this, thank you. And he like smiles, throws a fist up. Thank you. Oh shit, man. We're cooking today. We're cooking. So yeah, and then the other thing I ordered that I just got was it's kind of like an autobiography, but it's just like a series of writtens from one Mr. Ken Fisher, who founded Fisher Investments, arguably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, registered investment advisor out there. Just trying to pick the guy's brain from afar and see how he built something that big. Book's called The Makings of a Market Guru. Don't know how I feel about that title. But I'm sure the guy has gotten to where he's got for a reason. So we kind of read about that in there. And the interesting thing that he touched on in there, just looking at one little snippet, was he was talking about researching small cap companies to invest in. Small cap is, I believe, small cap market capitalization. It's between 300 million and 2 billion. So that's considered a small cap stock. Small cap meaning small capitalization. Capitalization meaning how much money does the firm have invested in it. Let's assume it's publicly traded. Let's just do some rough country boy math here. $25 a share is the price of the stock. And let's say that there are 10 shares outstanding. This is not realistic, but it's simply so that I can not fuck up the math. Okay. So we got $25 a share. We got 10 shares that are out there owned by whomever. My market capitalization for my company is going to be $250. So a small cap stock has a market capitalization between $250 million to $2 billion. That's considered small cap. And so Ken Fisher was talking about small cap stocks in this book, and he was basically saying that a lot of folks that invest in small cap stocks are looking at the technology of whatever firm is in or business is in question that they're looking at investing in. They're looking at the technology. But what the article was saying was that technology, it's cool. Yeah, it's great. They got all these bells and whistles and whatever technology they're developing. But if they don't have marketing, ain't nobody going to find out about the technology. And for damn sure, you ain't going to make no money off the technology. And therefore, the stock price probably won't do what you want it to do as an investor. You see, I think the biggest misconception about stocks and investing is that the companies people feel like they should invest in are the companies that everybody else is talking about at that time. That's market sentiment. The problem with market sentiment is it can turn on you in a second, because you got to here's the thing. You got to just think of the stock market as a manic guy that shows up every day in a different mood. Mr. Market, sometimes he shows up and he's like, oh, yeah, dude, we're killing it. You can't buy shit from me right now. My price too high, dog. Yeah. Talk to me. Hey, you gonna have to get a pretty penny to fuck with me now. Hey, you know what I mean? Hey, you know what I'm saying? So Mr. Market's like that some days. And then other days, he comes in, he's like, man, shit. Oh, I can't do shit, man. I ain't worth a damn, boy. I don't know, man. Man, I'll do whatever for you to get involved, man. I'll sell it to you or whatever, man. You know? And so what happens is a lot of people, they start to buy into Mr. Market's antics. They start to feel the same. They start to kind of let that emotion rub off on them a little bit, you know, let it affect them. Maybe you start maybe his feelings are so infectious that you start feeling that way. You're like, shit, man, my portfolio ain't worth it, man. I'm selling it. I'm selling it all. You sell it at a loss. Some people, they get lucky. Some people, they're like, man, hey, price up. Hey, we're gonna table that profit. We're gonna get out of here. But that's very rare. It's very rare. So we can actually flip this on its head, this idea, right? Because from 100,000 foot view, you're like, okay, Mr. Market's a manic, schizophrenic fuck. Like, why would I get involved with him? You know, I don't want to get sucked into his bullshit. You know what I mean? And depending on where you're at, you might be in life. I mean, you might be justified in feeling that way. But, and this whole idea of Mr. Market was created by Benjamin Graham, who is the author of one of the greatest investing books of all time, The Intelligent Investor, and he's also who mentored Warren Buffett, who's arguably the greatest investor of all time. So these ideas they're coming from credible people. But basically, we form this idea of Mr. Market, and then we say, okay, we can flip this on its head. Because if we just kind of say, man, Mr. Market, fuck out of here, dude. I ain't got time today, dude. Listen, dude, I ain't got it today. You know, I ain't got time. We don't let his emotions affect us. What can happen is that we can actually kind of exploit Mr. Market a little bit if we keep a level head and if all of our investing decisions are rooted in objective, logical, left-brained reason. And that's why somebody can be a great investor, but maybe not be able to properly explain to somebody who doesn't have a background exactly why their method of investing is going to be helpful to that person. Does that make sense? So, if we look at fundamentals of businesses and we say, look, man, this business has been cash flow positive consistently for a long time, or we say their revenue year over year is growing consistently, or this company has good cash flow and therefore has been able to pay out dividends, good dividends consistently, then when Mr. Market comes in and is like, hey, man, hey, we down 9% today, man, fuck. You're going to be like, yeah, dude, but the company's still good. Like, I ain't got time for you today, dude. Actually, since you're so depressed, how about I buy a little bit more? You know, because it's a good business. I'm getting a better deal. Yeah, man. Hey, let me see what you got. Fuck, I'll sell it to you, man. Fuck, my life's over, man. So back to the point, right? The idea that Ken Fisher was talking about in this little blurb I read before the podcast. He was talking about how, yeah, it's great if a small cap company has real good technology and they got all the bells and whistles and it looks great, right? Looks great. If they can't market it, it doesn't mean shit. Okay. So the remedy to this, and he also said, which I thought was interesting, that a company with more, and I hope I'm putting this right, I just read this, a company with more marketing prowess, company that focuses more on marketing their products well versus focusing on R&D, research and development for the technology, outperform or get 10x their return on investment versus bolstering the technology. Marketing versus technology. You invest more in marketing, you're going to, and this is what he said in here, I'm quoting it roughly, you get 10, as a company, you get 10x your return on investment versus the actual technology itself. I thought it was a counterintuitive point because if you're looking at businesses objectively, you would think, well, hell yeah, I want to buy the business stock that has the best service, has the best technology. But what what I didn't realize in thinking that, what a lot of people don't realize in thinking that when they're picking companies to invest in, is that they can have the best technology in the world. They can have the best service in the world. But if people don't know about it, they're not going to sell any of it. If they don't sell any of it, they're not going to make any money. If they don't make any money, the stock price isn't going to go up. I experience it every day with my business. I feel like I got the best investment advisory practice around in terms of how we invest, the service we give to our clients, the research we do on the stocks we buy. But sometimes people just don't know who the hell we are yet. And that's fine. But we're focused on changing that, which is why we're taking more of a nationwide approach. So all that to say, I think I tied a bow on my point. I think I did. Yeah. Oh, no, I didn't. So the last part, what's the action item there? That's good knowledge to know, but you can't go on to the investing websites and be like, hey, who spends the most money on marketing? You can't do that. So, and this was a sweet little ninja trick that Ken Fisher shared. He was like, hey, if you're looking at investing in a company, obviously the normal person's not going to have time to do this. I'm talking about somebody that does what I do for work, that picks stocks for people. Spend most of my day doing that. Ken Fisher says, hey, talk to some salespeople for that company. They're in the trenches. They're hearing the customer objections. He said, ask them about what their sales process looks like, how they qualify prospects, how long it takes to close deals. Find the salespeople of these companies and just talk to them. And he said, and I agree with this because I'm one of them, salespeople will talk to you endlessly. They don't not want to talk to you. So he said, go talk to the salespeople. How do they qualify their prospects? What's the sales process look like? How long does it take for them to get a deal closed? He talked about high ticket sales too. There's some different kind of question you can ask people that sell high ticket stuff at whatever company you're looking at investing in. So anyway, he did say, though, the most important aspect, and I liked this point a lot because I think culture is important in any organization, because I've been a part of organizations that had good culture. I've been a part of organizations that had bad culture, and I know what it felt like going into work every day at each of them. You know, I'm talking about my experience in sports. I thought the Colts were a well-run organization. Say what you want about Jim Irsay, but I enjoyed going into work there every day. I enjoyed the people I worked with. I respected the decisions that upper management made. Arizona Coyotes, opposite. Dumpster fire. And that's obviously why they're not in Phoenix anymore. Because the success of not just sports organizations, but business organizations, they trickle down from the owner, the CEO, whoever that is. And so the biggest thing that Ken Fisher said to look out for was, hey, ask the salespeople about how they feel about management. And if they feel good about management, it's probably a well-run company. If they don't, something to think about. So damn, we're at 51 minutes, 51 and a half minutes. I don't have much time constraints, man. Maybe we can take a look at some. Oh, saying y'all ain't see that, huh? Yeah, I probably just pointed it out. Look, I mean, we can go through the X bookmarks a little bit. Let's see about it. This is a good talking point here. This is from Everything Georgia, one of the goated Twitter accounts, by the way. 24-year-old, damn, I got to piss. 24-year-old Augusta man was arrested for leaving his children, ages 1, 6, and 10, alone at a McDonald's while he attended a nearby job interview. I wonder if that's his Dodge Challenger in the parking lot. I shouldn't say that. So there's a debate going on with this, because some people are like, oh, you're a terrible parent. You shouldn't leave your kids places like that. And then on the other side of the street, people are saying, dude, this guy's trying to go out and get a job, make a living for his family. Like, I know helicopter parent culture was mentioned. The people that were freaking out, folks on the other side of the argument are saying, well, you guys are a part of helicopter parent culture. And helicopter parents, in my experience, they disempower their kids to solve problems and gain self-confidence. So I'm with this guy, man. I'm with this guy. Hey, you got to feed your kids. You don't have anyone to look after them. You leave them at the McDonald's play place for 30 minutes. That's how long you left them. And you go and get that bag. Because guess what? Like, kids are going to figure it out. Kids are going to figure it out. And I think the odds are pretty low that some depraved child trafficking pedophile individual would be happening to be hanging at that McDonald's within that 30-minute time frame. I just don't think it's very likely. Some people might see it different. They got this cynical worldview on people in the world because they sit in a basement and complain about Trump on Reddit all the time. But I don't think people are as bad as folks make them out to be these days. I get it. Some people are fucked up, but like, what are the chances that within a 30-minute time frame, some depraved child sex trafficking pedophile happens to be hanging at that McDonald's, and they say, oh, there's a 1, a 6, and a 10-year-old. I'm going to abduct him within this small time frame. Could happen. Probably won't. So I'm with my boy here. I'm glad they didn't drop his name, nothing like that. I'm sure somebody did, but this tweet specifically, they didn't drop the name. Go and get a bag, right? I think it's less responsible to sit there and collect, whatever government support or child, the damn collecting child support from his baby mama. Talking about, hey, hey, let me get some of that. Hey, I need about 400 in child support every month. You got it? Can you imagine? But no, I'm with my dude here. I don't know. Yeah, there's a couple other things. We can roll a little longer. I mean, the NFL, they had their owner meetings. That's where Katie Blackburn said all that stupid shit, boy. But they had their ownership meetings. They voted on some stuff, and they announced that Sony's Hawkeye technology will be used next season to electronically measure first down. The chain crews remain on the sideline as backup, but a new era is officially underway. I think this is overdue. I think they could have used this in the Bills-Chiefs game late in the season because I think Josh Allen got that first down. I still think that. And I think if you had that technology looking down on you like Sauron in Lord of the Rings, might have a different outcome on not just that game, but the entirety of how the NFL season unfolded. I mean, I don't know, because Philly was just so dominant. I really don't know if it would have mattered who came out of the AFC. I think it was always Philly, at least this season. They've done a beautiful job putting together their roster. They've drafted masterfully. They've paid guys in the free market, locked them down. And what's his face? Howie. It's either the owner or the GM. I get him mixed up. Howie something starts with an L. He mentioned on the Todd McShay show, I think today or yesterday, that if a guy has a history of domestic violence against women, that he doesn't even watch the film. I love that, man. I love that. He said it doesn't matter if it's 10 years ago, guys learn from his mistakes. Like, no, dude, if you hit women, you piece of shit. Ye coward. So I really respect the Eagles. I respect their organization. The Lions proposed to eliminate an automatic first down as a penalty imposed for defensive holding and illegal contact. It did not pass despite their pleas. So I wonder, I haven't watched every rep of all the film from this NFL season, but I'm sure the Lions got burned somehow, some way on a call like that this season. If it's a big play and I'm just not remembering it, well, I'm going to have to be embarrassed after this episode drops. But I can't think of it. But I'm sure there's a reason. Okay. ASU getting a maroon field. Hey, I don't think it looks bad. I really don't think it looks bad. Take a look. I don't think it looks bad at all. In my college days, even as a kid growing up, like watching Boise State blue field, I thought that shit was brutal, dude. The blue field is terrible. I think Eastern Washington, they've got a red field where Cooper Kupp played football. Oh God, dude, that shit is awful, bro. But the maroon field, it doesn't look so bad, I don't think. I think it fits. I don't know if that picture's photoshopped or if that's an actual, like they've already done it and that's actual like Skycam picture of it. Yeah, I think we played this school one time. I don't even know if I was on the bus for this game. I don't think I was. We played this school called University of Central Arkansas. I think it's in Conway, Arkansas, right around where you go to like hunt ducks and stuff. Shout out to Big Duck Hodges. But they had a purple field. And man, that shit was, I think it was either purple or gray. Let me pull it up. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at Estes Stadium. Look at this, dude. That is brutal. I mean, it looks like 5 yards, the color changes. That's brutal. I remember seeing that shit and being like, this is just unbelievable. Purple and gray, and it's staggered. I mean, it literally makes your eyes bleed, I think. That's worse than Eastern Washington's red field. Worse than Boise State's blue field. If I had to rank them, damn dog standing at the door whining. He can't figure out what he wants. I shut him out. He wants in. I shut him in. He wants out. Anyway, I think Eastern Michigan, let's see there. Gray. That's not that bad. I would rank, of all the fields we talked about, ASU's the best one. Number 2, probably Eastern Washington, as insufferable as that shit is. Number 3, probably Boise State. And then number 4, Central Arkansas is by far got the worst. Let me let this dog. Come here. Come here. Come here. What have you been doing? You can't decide what you want. You cannot decide because this podcast will be done soon. But can you sit here for 3 minutes and not want out? I'm not sure. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Yeah. Good boy. Mwah. Mwah. This is my baby, Jasper. I don't know if he's, oh my goodness. I don't know if he may have jumped on the pod once or twice. Why are you yawn? Huh? Which he has jumped on the pod before. I think he said a few words on here. I make this face. I can't help it. I bite my tongue because it's like that cute aggression. Yeah. 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 Good dog. Maybe we actually I did find the clip of Conor talking about what we talked about earlier, so I'm gonna play it.
If you were to be president of Ireland, would you contemplate of fighting and being president at the same time?
And now entering the octagon, the notorious president of Ireland, Conor McGregor. What fucking right I will. Of course, you're crazy. That's part of why I want to do it. To be announced as the president of Ireland, having a fight. Imagine that. But,
having a fight.
Hell yes.
Yeah, that's fire. I don't think there's much else, man. Yeah. I think we're gonna wrap it up there. It's a pretty good show, I think. Man, if you watch this far, really appreciate you. I won't ever ask for anything from you except to click that little subscribe button down below. That's all I'm gonna ask. And most of y'all that are watching this probably aren't subscribed. So do your boy a favor. And to take a page out of someone else's book, be a friend. Tell a friend. We'll see you hopefully pretty soon. Love y'all.